Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. William Poloniak here again from Whole Health Foundation. And in today's juice, I'm going to make a juice that's mostly yellow zucchini. Alright, you've seen my ingredients, and I have a container of ice cubes here to cool down my cutter. And as always, I'm going to start with 3 ice cubes to cool down my cutter and my feed tube, because we're already at 32 degrees centigrade on this hot and humid day in Southern. Alright, I'm going to alternate between red Swiss chard and the zucchini. And this is the last of my greens, and next I'll switch to carrots. Alright, what I'm going to do now is clean the J grid, which is for greens. And then I'm going to switch to the number 2 grid, which is 1/8 inch holes instead of 3/16. The 1/8 inch holes is better for carrots, so we'll set that grid aside and clean it later. Put in the number 2 grid, and now we'll do the carrots. This thermometer improvement is probably the best improvement I've ever put on this juicer. I always like to clean the feed tube and the cutter and the grids before I process the pulp. But you can do it later if you want to. So the next step then is to mix the pulp, and I get a better mix when I turn the bowl in both directions. So we're going to turn the bowl clockwise this time, as we're going to put 3 generous scoops of pulp into the cloth. Fold it over, and we're going to press 2 cloths full of pulp at one time because you get better pressure that way. Set that aside, and I'm going to demonstrate my 6 cloth method here again. And at the end of the process, I'm going to demonstrate how the Whole Health Foundation juicer with the premium bottom plate gets over 10% more juice. But for now, we'll just go through the normal process. So we have 2 cloths full of pulp, and I'm going to center them left to right and front to back, all the way back, and back it off a little bit. You do not want this to go up too fast. Turn that on and prepare the next set of juicing cloths. Set that aside, and remember, in the early part of the less work 6 cloth method, this spent pulp goes in here to absorb all of that spent pulp, or all of that liquid I mean, and advance it all the way when you're down to your last cloth. Now the other less work 6 cloth method is to put the pulp on top of the old pulp. Come in here close. In the beginning you put 2 scoops on here, later you'll only put 1 scoop because this is going to get thicker and thicker as we press it. So pull it into a tight package, the tighter the better. Fold it as usual. Now another tip is to always keep eye on this because it's getting rather full. So when we're down to our next cloth, we're going to keep an eye on that, advance that all the way. And the other method for the less work 6 cloth method is to put new pulp on top of the old pulp like I'm doing here. Pull this forward, that goes over, the spent pulp goes on top. Now because this is full, we're going to put this into bottles. But before I do that, I'm going to set this tray back, and I'll remind you, don't set it back just a little bit. Make it very, very obvious, because if it's only a little bit, you will forget and you will damage your tray. So let's now put this in bottles. Alright, I'm going to take this over here to my bottles, full of pulp, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of this spent pulp and I'm going to pack it into a tight ball and press it again to show you how much more juice we can get from the Whole Health Foundation premium juicer with the premium bottom base plate. So we'll tighten that up into a tight ball and fold this in both directions, again tucking it underneath like so. That's going to minimize slippage. I'm going to flatten it like that. set this aside. That's this all the way. I'm going to press all of these into a ball. Take all of this reprocessed spent pulp, and in a measuring beaker I'm going to measure how much more juice do we get by using a Whole Health Foundation premium juicer that has the solid bottom plate. This bottom plate will never break, and it enables you to get over 10% more juice. Let's see how much juice we get. All the way back, I'm going to back it off a little bit. So there's 3 1/3 ounces. Let's set this aside, and we'll put in 2 more cloths of repackaged pulp right into the center. Center left to right, front to back, all the way back it off a little bit. And so far we have 8 ounces. There we have 9 ounces. Let's back that off. I'm going to pour this into here. We'll go to our 3rd set of repackaged pulp. Again, centered left to right, front to back, all the way back it off a little bit. So that's another 17 ounces. That's another full bottle and more. A full 16-ounce bottle plus some. Well, I'm not going to do the whole press because you get the idea. And there's another 9 ounces of juice just from that. So let's bottle this. Alright my friends, I got 16 bottles of juice from that batch. And remember, one of these, a little more than one of these, was from the reprocessed pulp using the Whole Health Foundation model. I'm going to do a taste test now. Well, that's one of my best juices. If you'd like to phone me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. Delicious. I'll see you in the next video.